Welcome back, everyone. This week we are answering your questions because the other day on Instagram we asked you if you want to get to know us, ask away, and we had a lot of questions asked, and we're gonna do our best to cover I think most of them today in the video.
We have lots of questions to answer. You guys asked us questions about our jobs, our travel, our parenting, and some other random questions. So we're gonna do our best to answer those. There's a lot of questions that are kind of similar. If you don't hear your question asked, it's probably because someone else asked one that's really similar, and we're answering that one.
Our first question is, when did you basically first start enjoying liking Disney?
I think that is an interesting question because I didn't used to like Disney at all.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Well, you went once or twice as a kid.
Disney was not like this dear, wonderful thing to me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like kind of too commercial, and I had some things I did not like about Disney.
That's your teenage angsty self talking.
I think it was a little older than teenage.
Okay.
I remember the first time I liked it, and I mean, your answer is totally different because you've always been a big Disney fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember when we took the youth group on a trip that we were on, and I was like, okay, we're going to Disneyland on our way back from somewhere. The amount of excitement of the teenagers that we went with was contagious. Yeah. And it was so fun to just be with other people who were so excited. And the biggest kid of all was with me, and his excitement is definitely contagious. So I kind of started to, get on that train, but you've always been a bigger Disney fan.
I remember clearly when we were first married and we took I think after that I was like, oh, we gotta come back to Disney. And you're like, I think once we started having the girls, you're like, how about once every 2 or 3 years? Like, let's take it easy.
Every 3
and
years. Somehow
I finagled you into once every year and a half.
We used to stay with friends, and we'd have someone who used to be in the youth group that would get us in for free because we
worked at Disney or one of the hotels that was a partner.
We were one family income, and things were tight. But anyway, it just has built over the years and changed. I always need a break when I get back, but I do still love Disney.
Oh, I've enjoyed it since I was a kid. My parents took me and my sister 2 or 3 times when we were kids. I know at least twice, if not more, but I always loved going. I was always super pumped when I knew we were going to go. And then went a couple other times in college, either with friends or when I was with a youth group or whatever. I just had certain things I looked forward to.
And I didn't have that same nostalgia you had.
Yeah.
But once I kind of went with you and went with some other people who love that nostalgia, it was definitely contagious.
You want to know what one of the biggest things I enjoyed growing up as a kid about Disney?
What?
Wasn't the parks. It was on ABC every Sunday night. I think it was The Wonderful World of Disney. Mm-hmm. It was every Sunday night there was a movie on, and Michael Eisner would start the program or start the 2-hour segment. He just kind of stepped into some animated land like Robin Hood or whatever, and then the movie would just kind of happen and turn on at that point. That I loved that. Every week we watched that as a family, and then it would only be that much more epic at the parks. So that was a part of it too.
I have no memory of that. I don't think I saw any of those shows when I was a kid, but hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah. Attached to that question was, what's your favorite Disney snack? And by the way, neither of our girls are here at home right now.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Alyssa's actually at Disneyland right now with her school.
Yep.
And I mean, by the time you watch this, she'll be back home, but she's enjoying Disneyland for the first time without us. I
know our girls enjoy that kind of stuff now since they're in high school, or Alyssa's about to be in high school, which is crazy, but we won't get on that right now.
Yes.
That's another thing about us. We have 2 girls, and they are, Alyssa, our youngest, is in 8th grade, about to promote out of 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And then Lindsay is a sophomore. She just got her license.
Yep.
So you didn't ask that, but...
Well, that was a question, was their ages and their grades.
That's true.
And they are 14 and 16.
Yes. Favorite Disney snack? I think I know yours.
Okay. Should we both say it at the same time to see if we say the same thing?
3, 2, 1.
Raspberry macaron.
Raspberry Mickey macaron.
Yeah.
Not macaroon. Macaron.
Yeah, I knew that.
Macaroon is another treat you can get at Jolly Holiday.
Yeah, but I don't like that one.
I know, it's a coconutty one. Looks like the Matterhorn. Yeah, it's good. It's just not our favorite. But the Raspberry Rose Mickey macaron is so good. I also love just a really good hot fresh churro.
Oh yeah, that is good. But nothing beats that macaron. I still remember the first time we tried that because it was so surprising how good it was. Because I remember the girls and I were in the candy sweet shop, and then you came and you had this thing and you showed it to us. We're all like, oh my God.
Is that?
It was just one. Give me a bite. And we all shared
And
it.
it's shaped like a Mickey, so I'm breaking off the Mickey ears, and the girls are sad, but they're happy because they're eating something yummy.
And there's fresh raspberries in the middle.
I know.
Oh my gosh,
It's so good. It's so good. If
Yeah.
you haven't tried it, next time you go to Disneyland, it's only at Disneyland at the Jolly Holiday, you have to try it.
And let us know in the comments, what is your favorite Disneyland snack? Or
Yep.
Disney World?
I feel like it's only appropriate the first question asked. I kind of assumed it was going to be a Disney question because we do, Disney cruises and other stuff like that. But we do a lot of other things, and we love that you guys ask us questions about things besides Disney, because Disney is not the center of our life. We enjoy it.
We're not even a Disney Channel,
No, we're not.
in case you didn't know that.
Which leads us to our second question, which is, what careers are you in?
All right. Well, I am, my official title is English professor. I don't like...
Very distinguished.
I know. I try. I feel like it sounds too... I don't know. Like I'm trying
Pretentious.
to... Yeah. So I don't usually say that. I usually just say I'm a teacher. But I teach English at a community college.
Full-time.
Full-time, yes.
Yep.
And the really exciting thing...
I was about to say this, but I think you are.
I'm actually about to go on sabbatical.
You are on sabbatical.
I am on sabbatical, yes. I just turned in my grades a couple days ago, and I have actually the next 15 months because there's summer, and then there's a whole academic year, and then there's another summer, or I'm not teaching. So,
I bet every grade school, middle school, or high school teacher is watching right now going, when's my sabbatical coming? And I think that's something for college, right?
yeah, it's just a college thing. There's a lot, people ask me questions about it a lot recently, but I'm not going to go into all those here. But basically, I'm going to be taking classes about creative writing while I'm on sabbatical. So I'm not just going to be sitting around doing nothing. I'm doing a learning sabbatical where I'm taking classes. I'm getting a certificate from UCLA Extension. I'm super excited about it. Actually, I already started.
Yeah, you started last week.
I started early. I didn't need to start till the fall, but I'm so excited. So I'll be doing a lot of writing, and yeah, that's my job.
Yeah, and it's been a while since you've been in the classroom learning without having to work at the same time and grade papers.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and I was a stay-at-home mom for the first many years of our kids' lives.
Yeah, we were single income for a while.
Long time. When they were 3 and 5, I went back and got my master's degree in English, and then I've been teaching ever since then.
Yeah. Well, I am currently working at a food manufacturing company nearby, and it is a lot of fun. And so my title is confusing because I say it and then people are like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So I'm in the human resources area, and my title is learning and development manager. So here's a little thing. I got promoted recently. I was a learning and development specialist, meaning I delivered and created content for training, specifically in the area of leadership development, organizational values, culture, things like that. And so anytime someone needed leadership training or leadership development training in our company, which is actually fairly good sized, I come in and create a training program and deliver it. And I previously was a team of 2. Now I'm a team of 1, but I recently got promoted to the role of manager. So yeah. I'm really excited to just plow forward with some of the plans we already have, and looking forward to the future of how can we better really provide opportunities for continued learning for our employees at our company.
And the funny thing, I think, because you read me some of the questions earlier, and one of the questions had to do with our careers and was asking, or do you just do YouTube full time? Which we thought was pretty funny, because YouTube is a hobby.
No.
It's just a fun thing. We do get a small amount of ad revenue, but it basically pays for, well, this is Chris's hobby, really. So it pays for his extra cameras, and we give the girls some money because they are in the videos, and so they have spending money and savings from that.
Yeah.
It's definitely not, it's not anything anyone could even survive on.
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
We're a small channel, and it's just a hobby.
Yep. That's what we do for careers. Yep. Thanks for asking.
The next question is, what has been our favorite vacation so far?
Yep.
That's hard.
It's a hard one. It's like saying, what's your favorite movie?
I just do want to add,
for you, your favorite book.
That I just want to say that since we were a single income family for so long, and we had a very tight budget, once I started working full time, we kept a very similar budget. And so almost all the extra money goes towards vacation. So that's why you see us on a lot of vacations, and it's hard to pick.
It's what we prioritize a lot of our extra money to.
We have had a lot of vacations, and we're so thankful, and we have those memories with our family, but I don't know, what's your favorite one?
Gosh, I think of it in categories like I think everything else. There's the vacations you and I have had, And then there's the vacations we've had together as a family. Oh, there's two. I can't choose one.
Okay.
The favorite vacation we've had as a family, I gotta say our fantasy cruise, doing both Universal Orlando and the fantasy all in one shot. And it was our first time being on a cruise of like a longer cruise, longer than 4 nights, enjoying a new place that none of us had ever been before, which was Universal Orlando. Everything about that trip was super memorable and a lot of fun. Before we even started a YouTube channel, we went to Puerto Vallarta as a family. And that was like our first real legit big vacation.
Yeah.
And we only did that because your mom has a timeshare that she let us use a week for.
And because we had free airline miles, because when we had gone on a missions trip, the airlines completely messed everything up, and all 4 of us had enough miles to go to Mexico. So it was a very inexpensive vacation. But it was very wonderful.
It was so relaxing and so much fun. And so those two are the top for me up till now. And we've done so many other things. That's why it's so hard to choose.
It is. I have the same. I picked the same 2 as you. Yeah, okay. Puerto Vallarta, and I think really because it was that first vacation that we got to go do. And also,
but then there's Maui.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm going to say Maui for you and me. When we went, this is again before our YouTube channel. Yeah. You and I went for like 10 days or 9 days.
That was the year I turned 40. Yeah.
Just the 2 of us. Yeah. And it was so much fun.
That was really fun. I mean, we're just so fortunate that we've been able to do all these vacations and travel to all these places. But we do.
Hard question to answer.
Overall, we just love being able to make memories and go to new places with each other.
Our next question is, how old were your girls on your first cruise? And our first cruise as a family, we've only ever cruised on Disney as a family. I went on a cruise on Carnival when I was a kid. You went on a princess cruise when you were younger with...
I think I was about 25. I went with my mom.
We were dating, actually.
Yeah, but I just went with my mom, and it was a Baltic Sea Europe cruise. That was amazing.
Yeah. But our girls were, oh my gosh, it was 2021, fall.
So Alyssa went
11 and 13?
11, yeah,
11 and 13.
We had planned to go March of 2020, but that one got canceled. That was supposed to be our first cruise.
And June of 2020.
So they would have been able to experience some of the things for younger kids, but that didn't happen, of course, just like for lots of people. But that was their age, 11 and 13.
Another question we got from a few of you was, what made you start your YouTube channel?
We were watching the legs video because we were getting ready for our cruise that never happened, but we didn't know that at the time. And you've always really loved video editing and done a lot of it for fun. I always have lots of ideas. And so I was like, oh, we should do that. And my ideas, I don't have follow through. He has follow through. But we thought it would be fun to capture our family memories. We didn't know we were going to end up going on so many vacations. No,
not at all. And so when we started, you can go back to some of our first videos. Our first video, like the actual video, was like you and the girls baking cookies as a fundraiser for camp or something.
Was that our first video?
That was our first actual vlog style video.
Oh, wow. I thought the first one was when we went to Portland. We just looked back.
we had to make sure. We're like, wait, what?
And I think part of it is confusing because when we first started, we would take a lot of video and we wouldn't put the vlog together for months.
Yeah.
And you would take a month to put a vlog together.
Because I had no clue what I was doing. I was just doing the best I could.
So the timeline is confusing because of when we made the video and when we put it out. But it's so fun now to look back on those videos because it's not like we capture everything, but there's things that we capture, memories that I wouldn't have otherwise.
By the way, tell us in the comments if you've ever watched any of our first videos that we did. If you've never seen them and you go watch them, I'm sorry. It's a little bit like we did our best.
Well, you can see how we've grown since then, especially, Chris does all the work. I do nothing. So how he's grown in his skills of editing and putting video together. And actually some things about it, like when we go out and we make the videos, I remember it was kind of tough at first. At first it was fun, and then it was like a little bit awkward. Stop what you're doing. We have to take video, and we're like, we're not stopping. We're going. Sorry, bye-bye.
Now I've conditioned them.
Well, you're also a lot faster than you.
I'm a lot faster and more efficient.
Yeah,
true. But to answer the question, we put our channel together really for us to have a place to put our family memories. It was fun also to share with some family or friends that we hadn't seen for a while. It's like, hey, we have a YouTube channel. We just put some of our family videos up on there. If you want to kind of, check out and see some of the things we're doing, go for it. Slowly but surely, a few people started following and watching that we didn't know, which was weird at the time. Now it's very normal to see new people start watching our channel and subscribing, and it's become something much bigger than we ever thought it would. But it's so much fun also getting to meet people that watch our channel. It's also fun just interacting with people.
Yeah. We don't think about this regularly, why we started it, but I do remember another reason we started it that we haven't said is we did want to have some positive content. I mean, there's so much out there that is negative and
specifically like families.
Yeah. And I mean, our family is definitely not perfect.
No.
We just wanted to share a loving family who's authentic.
We want to like educate, inform people about the things we're experiencing in case you ever want to do something like that. Yeah. And connected to that is we really want to like inspire people to go make their own adventures and have their own fun together as individuals, as couples, as families.
Yeah.
So that's what it's become, but it definitely started as just a place for us to put our family videos up on the YouTubes. Yeah. So that kind of leads into our next question, which was how did you and Carrie meet? And also, how were you so lucky to have two amazing girls?
Chris was reading some of these questions to me in the car earlier when we were driving for my dad's birthday to go see him. And I was kind of thinking about that question about how do we have these two amazing girls? Like, well, I mean, there's all kinds of amazing kids in the world. And we do try to be authentic with our family. They're normal teenagers.
Yeah.
And of course,
they don't always get along perfectly at all.
More often than not, they don't. We do try to kind of like zoom in on the eye rolls sometimes because that's real. Yeah. But they are, for the most part, respectful, sweet, kind kids.
I think a good way to say it, and this is, I think, really true for so many families, and so maybe you identify with this, we love each other deeply. We don't always like each other.
Yes.
Because of maybe something we have to tell the girls they don't like to hear, or something one of them says or does to the other.
We're not going to pick up the camera when they're in the middle of a, battle. Usually.
Or an emotional breakdown or whatever.
So those things definitely happen too. And I think we'd be bad parents if we were like, oh, let's get this on film.
But we try to teach them how to respond graciously to each other, to give each other grace, to give each other space, to do everything we can to be at peace with each other. And that sometimes means having a hard conversation and having to walk through those messy moments, but doing it together, knowing that they can't do anything that's going to make us love them less or be disappointed deeply in them.
Parenting is hard. I think it's working, but you never know.
We want them to know that they're safe with us. And
they're loved.
They're loved, no matter what.
The second question is, how did we meet?
Yeah. And so sorry for taking a while to answer the questions, but hopefully you're enjoying getting to know us a little bit through how we respond.
If not, you're probably not here anymore anyway, so this is just how we do things.
Yes. We met when I was a youth pastor at a church a long time ago, over 20 years ago now.
Oh, man.
We had met and through a friend.
Yes. I had recently started coming to church. I had never gone to any church. Oh, that's not really true. I had pretty much never gone to church my whole life, but I had I saw something in my friend and I had some issues. I'm making this brief because it's a long story. And I was just like, you know what? Can I come to church with you sometime? And she was, of course, very surprised because I was probably the last person she thought would say that. But after going for a while, my life changed a lot. And around that time is when Chris and I met. So we met at church. And
surprise, this guy you like, I'm a youth pastor.
Yeah,
that's not intimidating at all.
That was awkward to tell my friends who barely knew I had started going to church. They're like, you're dating a what?
Yeah.
And now this year, in 2 months, we're going to have our 19-year wedding anniversary. But we're really thinking about 20 because that's when we have some really fun travel plans.
Yes, we do. And we'll
celebrate everything with
travel. We might talk about that in a little bit, responding to another question. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how we met, and we dated for a little more than a year.
You proposed on our 1-year dating anniversary.
It's true.
And then we got married 6 months later.
Yep.
Surprisingly, this next question was probably the most common question.
It really surprised me because we have so many people watching our channel because they actually curious. What was the first video you saw, or how did you start watching our channel? But I'm guessing it's probably, for the most part, Disney cruising. So
this question is, would we consider going on another cruise line? And specifically, a lot of people are wondering about Royal Caribbean.
I think I know why they're asking that.
Yeah, we do have something planned.
We do. I think we're going to say it really soon.
Okay, so we might have something planned.
We will have a video coming up pretty soon that talks about an upcoming trip.
So the question is, are we open to trying other cruise lines? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes. The next question is, did you grow up in Modesto? That's probably the answer we'll have our quickest response to.
We'll see.
No.
No, we did not. We both grew up in the Bay Area.
Yep. That does lead to another question, which is, what brought you to Modesto? And they connected that with Fresno, maybe because we used to live near Fresno. I don't know why, but regardless, we moved to Modesto for my work. At the time. Yeah, that's why we're here.
So we moved from the Bay Area to Kingsburg for his job, and then we moved from
Which is about 2 hours south of here, below Fresno.
Very tiny little town.
Yep.
And then we moved here for the job he had after that 10 years later.
Yep.
And
yeah, and
now you're at a different job, but we're staying here.
Yeah, and we'll have been here for what, 8 years now?
I know, it's crazy.
So that connects to another question, which is, if you didn't live in California, like, where else would you live? I think it was generally that question.
And sometimes I daydream about that.
Me too.
Although I've lived in California my entire life, and I really love it here for a lot of reasons. But then there's some things that are really frustrating sometimes. But I don't know where we could go. I mean, we're really spoiled with our weather.
Yeah.
I mean, it does get really hot here in the summer, but we have air conditioning.
It's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat. We have a pool and an air conditioner, so we're fine.
Yeah.
I love to be outside. I'm outside all the time. So it'd have to be somewhere where I could go outside.
It's California. There's a lot of challenges that we face, homelessness, crime, things like that.
Gas prices.
Everything. Pretty much all of our family is in the immediate area within about a 2-hour radius. And so that would be the hardest that's probably the biggest reason why we're still here.
And we
love our jobs.
We do.
And our girls love their friends that they have. Once our girls move out, and I don't expect them to land in California because the prices, like the cost of living here. I could see us moving in the future if our jobs are maybe different, or maybe we're retiring or something like that. I could see moving out of the state and somewhere else that's maybe a little closer to where they're at, possibly. But we're not in a hurry to leave. We're not looking to leave.
Mostly, I feel like I wouldn't really want to leave. I really do love California. But we'll see. You never know.
Yeah. We got a few more Disney-related questions. One of them was, when's your next Disneyland trip? Well, right now, Alyssa is in Disneyland. So I guess that answers your question. Other than that, we don't have any other Disneyland trips planned. That said, I'm always up for going. Like, if I'm going to be in that area for an extra day, I'm always happy to spend just a day in Disneyland. And I probably would just do Disneyland. I probably wouldn't do California Adventure.
I just realized that's a little bit of a lie. We actually do have something planned.
We do?
We do.
Yes, we do have a Disneyland trip planned.
I forgot.
Just
not in this country.
Not in this country.
And it's not anytime soon. No. We'll be giving you an update.
Sometime in the next year-ish.
About a year away.
Yeah. We'll share more details about that at some point down the road.
Yeah. But when we think of Disneyland, we think of Disneyland, California.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good point. Thanks.
Yeah. We have a few questions about meetups. If we'll have a meetup in different places we've talked about going.
Whether it's Disneyland or in this case, New York City, when we go to New York this summer.
I mean, we don't really have an answer because we don't have that planned, but I feel like it would be really hard to do because
it would be.
One, we don't know if anyone would come, and two, let's say 20 people came.
How do you prepare for that or plan for that?
Talk to all of them.
I know.
So I don't know. It doesn't, especially with our girls.
If it was you and me, it'd be a lot easier to just kind of do something kind of simple, and but when we're with our girls,
I want to have that time be with them.
Yeah.
It's special to us.
Yeah.
But if you ever see us,
please say hi.
Please say hi. Please don't think, oh, I can't say hi to them.
Even if you forget our names.
Say hi if you see us, but we probably won't plan any meetups.
Yeah, at least not at this point. But thanks for asking. That's really kind. The next question, also sort of Disney cruise related, is do you have any plans to sail on the Disney Treasure?
We do.
We do.
We do. We have something booked.
Yep. Next year.
Yes, next year.
Next summer.
I mean, it has to be next. Oh, it doesn't have to be next year, but it pretty much has to be next year because they're not starting.
First cruise is happening Christmas week.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
No.
So next summer we will be going on the Treasure,
yep.
And we'll definitely be vlogging. So you'll get to see. I don't want to say every single day, but we'll be able to see a lot.
Yeah, we've typically moved away from trying to vlog every day of a vacation or a cruise or whatever, just because we like to have a few days where we just don't have the main camera on. vlogging all day, which is nice because it gives us some time just to enjoy that time for ourselves. At the same time, we were still really enjoy vlogging. And sharing that experience with you guys. Look forward to that, but it's not going to come for a little while. Also connected to that, someone asked us, when's your next Disney cruise planned? And well, that's our next Disney cruise. We don't have one planned for, gosh, another almost year from now. Now that we've caught up with all the COVID plans that got missed, we, I think, are just trying to yes, go on cruises. We enjoy that, but there's other things we want to do too.
Yeah. So we're going to New York. We went to Cabo.
We're going to go to Toronto this fall. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's
we don't just do Disney stuff.
No.
We like to do all kinds of things.
Yep.
The next question is about something we said in a previous video.
Right, in our last video.
And it was, what was the problem with the Apple limitations on screen time with our kids that made us want to try out Bark?
Yeah, so Apple Screen Time is Apple's version of parental controls. There have been some frustrations and challenges with it. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it just created some challenges, and there was also limitations on it as far as whether maybe our kids, we were gone somewhere and maybe we're on a plane ride and we forgot to turn off screen time. They wouldn't even be able to get on the airplane's Wi-Fi to watch a movie on the plane. Yeah. Certain things like that just created some jumping through hoops that were just frustrating more than anything. And so it's things like that made us want to try something different, and we're just installed and downloaded Bark.
Yeah, we haven't really looked that much into Bark yet. We're not sure.
We're still figuring it out.
Yeah, we're not sure if we're big fans or not, but we're trying it out.
So our next question is, do you ever plan to do an Alaskan cruise? Yes.
I would really love to do an Alaska cruise.
Yeah.
We have not been to Alaska. We don't have anything planned. We somehow fill up our vacations really far in advance.
We're planners.
We are. And so we hope we can do that someday. I just don't know when it's going to be, because right now we're totally booked out for the next 18 months?
Yeah, at least. Both of us have full-time jobs. Carrie's more free typically in the summer, and you're a lot more free this year because you're on sabbatical. Mm-hmm. I have limited paid time off. There's a limit to what we can go do and how often we can go do it. And so we have to plan ahead to figure out what we want to do. But we definitely do want to do an Alaska cruise. I don't know if we'll do it with Disney, because we've looked at Disney prices and they are insane.
Yeah.
Because we want to get a balcony, and I don't feel good paying whatever it was, $15,000 for a balcony on the Wonder.
I do want to say, we have made a video about this in the past. Maybe you can link it. We do pay for our vacations for a whole year.
We budget for them and put money aside
for a while, and it's a year away, and we will pay for it monthly. Mm-hmm. It will be paid off before we go. So we're definitely budgeters. That's one of the reasons we can do these vacations, but I just like to put that out there. It's not we're hey, let's go on a cruise. Whoa, there's $7,000. No problem.
Yeah.
We definitely plan for those.
Yes. So I'm not sure if we go, we'll go on Royal or Princess, but if we go with our girls, we'll want to go on a ship that our girls will also enjoy.
There is a Princess cruise that goes out of San Francisco that goes underneath
a 10-night
Golden Gate Bridge. That sounds so cool, but then again, I'm not positive. I did go on that one Princess cruise, but that was me and my mom. So if you've been on a Princess cruise to Alaska with kids that are teenagers, please let us know how they liked it. We would love to know.
Yeah, because that's something we're interested in. It's just that tends to be not a lot of families on those cruises.
Oh my gosh. By the time we go on the Treasure, Lindsay's going to be 17. So the soonest would be the summer after that. She'd be 18.
I know.
That's crazy.
So maybe she would be old enough.
I know. If you don't already follow us on Instagram, we put the call for questions out there. And so sometimes there's things on Instagram that are not on YouTube. So follow us on Instagram.
So our next question is, what would be your dream vacation destination?
We have done a video like this before.
Yeah, I remember responding to that question.
I remember being asked that question. I was surprised by your answer. I don't know if it's still the same. My answer is still the same, and actually, that's part of our plan for our 20-year anniversary. Is my dream
next year?
Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to answer right now. I'll wait till we announce that. Mm-hmm. But you tell us your dream vacation destination.
I feel like mine changes based on what I see other people doing, mm-hmm. and that'd be so cool. The Disney fan inside of me would love to go to every Disney park and sail on every Disney ship. Which we still have not sailed on the Dream. I don't think we'd book a cruise just to sail on the Dream. I think it would have to be the right cruise, and it would have to happen to be the Dream.
Mm-hmm. I would like to do the transatlantic cruise.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
If it's a non-Disney vacation, something that's some kind of island paradise where we get to stay, a nice big bungalow that's over water. Maldives, you can do that there. That kind of experience would be incredible and something we could probably never afford. But it'd still be a dream place I would love to go and do someday.
I'm the one that likes to sit and read my book on on a hammock, and you're always wanting to go do things. So I feel like that would be my dream vacation.
Okay, you can take a water slide out of like the bungalow into the ocean and then snorkel.
All right, well, that'd be pretty.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And so I think there'd be so many things you could do in a setting like that. It seems so like inaccessible. So I'm not sure if that'll ever happen. I hope it will someday though.
We have lots of vacations in our future to plan, so there's lots of opportunities.
Like I said earlier, we got a lot of questions, but a number of them were like kind of in the same bucket or the same kind of question. So hopefully we responded to your question if you asked. The last question,
I think, is it's good to end with a Disney Cruise Line question, because I think a lot of you probably watch us because of Disney Cruise Line stuff. So the question was, what caused us to love DCL?
I would have to say, well, one, what got us interested is watching vlogs.
That's not true.
Really? No. Well, I think that's what got me interested. Okay. You had a friend talk to you about it.
Yes, I still clearly remember. A friend of mine she said it in a really funny way. She said one of her spiritual gifts. She was making a joke, but one of her spiritual gifts was convincing people to go on Disney cruises. And I was like, at that point, one, I didn't even like Disney that much. And two, I didn't really think I'd like to go on a cruise. And I was like, okay, let's see. Go ahead and convince me. Mm-hmm. And
so she took you out to lunch, I think, or something like that?
No, we were on like a retreat. She told me this. She said she loves it because you go with your family, you have your together vacation, you have your separate vacation. You have Disney, which is like the very best service out of any company that they give. You have amazing staff and waiters who, like, she gave me some specific examples, like they'll cut up your kids' meat for you. They do the show on animators, like she described all these things.
The dinner shows.
Yeah, and I was just like, she's like, and it's like this family. There's not a bunch of people going around getting drunk and gambling, and it's not that kind of atmosphere. It's a different family atmosphere. And I was just like, okay, well, that does sound like fun. And
then she told me, and I was like, my one experience cruising as a kid was like, I don't think so. It was a Carnival ship. It wasn't the best. It wasn't bad, and we had fun. It wasn't something I was like wanting to do with my family. I didn't have any plans to do it or thoughts to do it. And then I started like, you were like, you should, whatever. And so I started like researching and searching the web and found that there was YouTube videos about people's experience on Disney cruises. And once I started watching those, I was like, yo, this looks kind of cool.
Yeah. And
I knew already enjoyed Disney.
You were a huge Disney fan already. And I had just gotten my full-time job too. So it was like the first time this was maybe financially
both
possible.
of us had full-time paychecks.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, let's give this a try.
Yeah.
So we definitely, we were addicted very quickly.
I think what's made us like stick with Disney up till now is the service we get and the relationships we get to build with our servers and different crew members. We love that. I also love that we each get to like kind of do like what your friend said. We each get to kind of like experience fun vacation in our own way, but then at the end of the day, we come back together at dinner, talk about what we did. Some of it was together, but not all days. Not some days, like our girls would be doing stuff on the ship or without us. I'd be doing something, you'd be getting a massage or whatever, but we'd be able to come back together and talk about it. But we'd also have days where we did spend most of the whole day together doing something really fun, like on an excursion on a port or something like that.
And
so
I know when she told me that, our kids were still relatively young, where it was like we didn't always get to be away from them. So it was like this, there's kids clubs and all this fun stuff.
And we can let them go off on their own and it's safe to do that?
I mean, now we can. Back then they were still too young for that. Yeah. But one other thing I just want to say, because you just talked about how we love the servers. And if you just watched our vlog with my dad, that was one of his favorite things, was the servers. If you watch our very first vlog where we went on the Wonder, Alyssa was 11, and her favorite thing was our servers, which was Dussel and Surya, which now we still remember them. And
we've seen them multiple times now since that cruise.
And I do want to say, I know that there's a number of people in Australia now who watch. I think the idea of service is a little bit different there from what we've heard from some of the servers. And so I want to just encourage people, get to know your servers.
Yeah, get to know your room attendant.
Yeah. These guys, they work so hard and they're the cream of the crop and they want to make your vacation special, but they also kind of want to get to know you.
Yeah.
And you should get to know them because they are amazing.
And I love it because they're from all over the world. Like Lucy is from the UK.
Yeah.
Inez. Hey, Inez. She was our server on the Wish and Paulo, and she's from Portugal. Our server on the Magic, or servers we've had like in other places. Like we've had servers from Thailand or Turkey or other, like all over the world. And it's so cool to hear about their stories, their families, if they have families, and why they enjoy Disney and why they enjoy working with Disney.
And they are working so hard.
They are.
And if you're from a place where tipping isn't customary, I mean, please at least give the minimum. Don't like take it back afterwards. We did hear that sometimes people were doing that when they're from places where tipping isn't customary. Just at least give the minimum, but like we always give above because we think they deserve it. And honestly, it doesn't matter. We can't do anything about the fact that, you know, Disney's paying them this or Royal Caribbean's paying them that. It's like we can tip them as appreciation because they're amazing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll get off my high horse now.
Like getting preachy, Carol.
I'm sorry, but like they are the reason that Disney cruising is so amazing.
Yes, yeah.
And so show appreciation, and
I think that comes down to that, because we could have that other experience I talked about on almost any cruise where like we all kind of do our own thing, but then we come back together and talk about it and have fun. We do things together and it's separate. But on Disney, I love the service we've gotten so far. And we're excited eventually to try other cruise lines and to see, you know, how it compares, and, you know, just to see what that experience is like as well. So we love trying new things. Anytime we have a chance to try something new or experience something we've experienced, but maybe in a new way, we love that. And so, yeah.
So that wasn't a question, but I just felt I needed to say that all of a sudden.
So if you've been watching this video and you're still watching,
thank you.
Thank you. You get a gold star.
Definitely gold star.
I've seen other channels and friends that we have channels do something like this. So put a gold star emoji in the comments if you've watched to the very end.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Hi, I'm Chris. I drop my phone a lot.
And other things too.
Thank you so much for watching. We really, really appreciate you guys. And we're so thankful you take the time most weeks whenever we post a video to watch, to engage with us in the comments, and just the encouragement you give us on a regular basis. We're so thankful for that. So thank you.
It really means a lot.
It does.
I just want to add, I said this in a video recently, we heard that people don't realize that subscribing is free. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video. That just helps us know that you're there. And thank you.
It lets you know anytime we put a new video up.
Yeah.
Make sure you're on the lookout for some of those updates coming soon. Until then, we hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you again really soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.